Each week, New Faces profiles musicians, songwriters, and entertainers from Atlantic Canada. Great homegrown talent on New Faces, Friday nights on ASN. Now, Atlantic Pulse with Yvonne Colbert, meteorologist David Jones, and sports with Paul Martin.
Tonight, Islanders prepare for the big vote, and Jimmy the Greek says he's sorry. But first, over to the ASN Weather Center, where meteorologist David Jones is preparing your back-to-work forecast. David?
Today was possibly the nicest day of the year so far in the Maritimes, with lots of sunshine and some warm southwest winds. I hope you enjoyed it, though, because we may not see much more of the sun till Friday. Right now, it looks like unsettled weather will settle in on the region for most of the week. Nice day ahead for Newfoundland on Monday, though. More details later. Yvonne?
Good evening. Tomorrow is going to be a big day for Prince Edward Islanders. In fact, some say it's the biggest decision they'll make since joining Confederation way back when. Tomorrow, they'll vote yes or no on a fixed link to the mainland. John Morrison has more on the question that's being asked and what Islanders can expect when they get to the polls.
The series of forums held across the island gave people a chance to form an opinion, and tomorrow Islanders make their views known on a ballot. The ballot they will mark is slightly different from previous provincial elections. It is black with white writing. The question, are you in favor of a fixed link between Prince Edward Island and New Brunswick, yes or no? It's hoped that change may cut down on the number of spoiled ballots.
I hope that most people will just mark an X and make their choice or make their expression of interest available to the government. But certainly there's not much chance for people to mark anything other than either an X on whichever choice they want to do.
The interest in this plebiscite is high, something Merle Wigington believes will see a steady flow at the polls in all 16 electoral districts.
Islanders are noted for wanting to mark a ballot. We run greater than 85% turnout, and I hope that we have a good turnout on Monday.
Some high school students have argued since the fixed link will affect their future, they should be able to vote. But the Election Act stipulates you must be 18. Making a change to accommodate the students was discussed but dropped. Instead, the students held their own unofficial votes. Like other segments of society here, they are split on the issue of a fixed crossing.
The polls will open at 1 o'clock and close at 9. We will know before 10 who the winner will be. In Charlottetown, John Morrison, Atlantic Pulse.
Joining us now live from Charlottetown to talk further about tomorrow's plebiscite is anchorman Ron Kronstein, who's on the island to cover tomorrow's vote. Ron, you've been talking to Islanders all day today. What sense do you get from them on the vote tomorrow?
Well, Yvonne, from the number of people I've spoken with since arriving on the island earlier today, it seems to me that the feeling here, at least, is much more emotional than it is elsewhere in the region, of course, because this is where the hotbed of concern is. But from what I've gathered is that it's going to be a lot closer, according to the people I spoke with, than many of us would believe. Some reports indicate that it could go 70% in favor. Those are only reports, that's speculation. People here on the island, of course, tell me it's going to be an awful lot closer than that, possibly even a 60-40 split, or even narrower than that. And as to say which way it's going to go, well, most of them concede it may go in favor, but they say it's going to be a close race, and of course the only speculation, it's only speculation, and the proof to the pudding, so to speak, is going to be when the final results are in tomorrow night.
What were people saying to you today? First of all, did they bring up the issue, or did you? I mean, is this something that's just there on the tip of their tongues they can't wait to talk about?
Well, I did bring up to be quite honest, I asked questions, but upon asking the first question, everybody responded to me that it was a major issue, particularly in Charlottetown for many weeks now. Everybody has an opinion on it. It is a topic of great concern. It's a motherhood issue. It's very, very emotional. And you really don't get a sense of that until you get here and you really start speaking with people. It is, the question on the ballot is very simple. It leaves nothing to interpretation. But it also is a question of, you know, basically, is it going to be a change in the way of island life as it is now, or are you going to take a major step into the future in the progress? Many have said, join the mainstream of Canada. It's going to be very, very interesting. Of course, the weather bodes well for a very heavy voter turnout. Turnouts on Prince Edward Island for any type of election are traditionally heavy, and if the weather's good, there's going to be a steady flow at the polls tomorrow.
Okay, ASN is going to be providing live coverage tomorrow. What exactly are you going to be doing?
Well, tomorrow night on our 6:30 program, Atlantic Pulse at 6:30, I'll be bringing the program to you live from the Confederation Center of the Arts in Charlottetown, which is the location of the final vote counting. The entire show will originate out of here, and at 10 o'clock tomorrow night, we will be bringing you live coverage of exactly how that vote goes, and we hope everyone will join us. It's going to be a history-making vote, and we're glad to be a part of that history-making venture.
Ron, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Look forward to watching the coverage tomorrow evening.
Look forward to bringing it to everyone.
Anchorman Ron Kronstein reporting live from Charlottetown. By now, you've likely heard about Jimmy the Greek Snyder's remarks about black athletes. And if you haven't, suffice it to say they were racist. In any event, Jimmy seems to have now seen the light as he met today with black presidential candidate Jesse Jackson. Kenneth Walker was there.
For the first time since being fired by CBS Sports, Jimmy the Greek Snyder surfaced with presidential candidate Jesse Jackson today to apologize publicly for controversial remarks about black athletes.
I apologize profusely, and I do it once again.
Later, in an exclusive interview with ABC News, a clearly shaken Snyder tried to explain what he meant to say, but did so in a way that may not put the controversy to rest.
I was telling them how superior the black athlete is over the white one. And for the reasons that the black tries harder. He works harder at it. I mean, and the white is lazy.
Snyder contends that a reporter goaded him into making comments about black athletes having been bred in slavery to be superior.
And so he kept edging me on. He said, well, other reasons. Give me some other reasons. And I fell into that.
Jackson tried to shift the focus from Snyder's comments to what he called a pattern of discrimination in sports and TV network management.
Individuals who make statements that are insulting are dispensable, and they go, but the policies that remain must be changed.
As for Jimmy the Greek, a lifelong gambler, he recognizes the odds against a comeback are pretty high.
I'm in trouble. I've been in trouble before, but I always worked out of it. This one is a little bit different, but with the Reverend's help, I'm sure I'll be all right.
At Jackson's urging, Jimmy the Greek plans to write civil rights organizations and black professional athletes to apologize anew and to join in calls to sports leagues and the media to hire more blacks in management. But he seems to have accepted that his own broadcasting career is probably over. Kenneth Walker, ABC News, Washington.
At least 5 people have been killed in house fires in Atlantic Canada this weekend. 2 people, a mother and daughter, were killed early today when their house burned to the ground at Halfway Cove near Guysborough, Nova Scotia. The cause of that blaze is still under investigation, but firemen say it may have started as a chimney fire. Meanwhile, a fire in the north end of Halifax killed an elderly couple last night. Dead is 70-year-old Lowell Legg and his 68-year-old wife, Margaret. About 16 firefighters battled that blaze, which was